Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions MC and producer. And welcome to the May 2022 edition of the Team Rayceen Forum. Each month, on First Tuesdays, I will moderate a discussion about current events and pop culture here on the Team Rayceen YouTube channel. And today, I am joined by the wonderful, the fabulous, the goddess of DC herself, the one, the only, Rayceen Pendarvis. Hey, Rayceen.
Hey, love. Greetings and salutations, all.
It is so great to be here with everyone because we have some special guests joining us today. And so, of course, this month I am joined by the wonderful Carly Harvey and Lee Livingston Perrine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome. First, we're going to start off with a couple screenshots. So let's get that done first. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And another 3, 2, 1. Perfect. So now, you know how we like to start off everything. We like to have our guests introduce themselves and, let everybody know a little bit about their background and experience. So I want to start off with Carly Harvey.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kylie Harvey, also known as DC's Queen of the Blues. I reside here in the city, and I'm also a petite plus model.
Awesome. Lee.
How's everybody doing? I'm Lee Livingston Perrine. I'm holding it down here in Washington, D.C. I am the founder of Black in Space, and we celebrate Black, queer, and trans people through media, storytelling, and technology.
We love that. We love that. Well, it is amazing to have everyone here with us today because we got some things to talk about. So let's talk about it. So we will start. Oh, and I see that we have another person joining us, which we are so excited to have. So welcome to the stage, Brenna Haynes. Hello, Brenna. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, it's great to be here. I'm Bernita. I'm an author, fiction author. I write science fiction and fantasy stuff that centers messy bisexual women. I am also a consumer protection attorney, and I live and work in Atlanta, Georgia.
Love that. Love that. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have all our guests today. And so we'll start with the discussion with some recent headlines compiled by our producer, Czar. Now, these are the topics, and anyone can take whichever one you want, and we'll just jump into it and start discussing. So, our first round of topics include Lil Nas X announces his North American and European tour. Next, the White House Correspondents' Dinner returned, and the Met Gala just happened. And of course, Elon Musk is poised to purchase Twitter for $44 billion. Who wants to take a gab at one of these?
Well, I'm going to start with something happy. The Met Gala, I got my life, child. I got my life off of some of the folks. Carly B, I got my life. Sarah Jessica Parker, I got my life. Michelle, the Asian actress, who always is fabulous, and she just made an entrance. Janelle Monáe gave me my life. Even the men returning it. Jeremy Pope, Kid Coopy. Lenny Kravitz always serves it at 129.
Lenny gives it.
Like he's 24. I just got life. Naomi Campbell, elegance personified. She looked like she was just floating, like a vampire floating through the place. She was just. It was everything. It was everything. There were a few, a few misses for some.
Yeah.
I'm not naming who I felt was a miss, but I'm talking about who I felt, just popped for me, honey.
Agreed. I will say my favorite of the night was Blake Lively. I've always been a Blake Lively fan from the Gossip Girl days. But that look, which it represented the Statue of Liberty, which was originally copper. It is copper, so it was brown and bronze when it first came to America as a gift from France. But because of oxidization, it turned green around the 50s, 60s until it has that vibrant color now. And her fabulous dress, which was copper, and then a reveal, honey, into the green. Amazing. My top toot of the night.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I got Life of Alicia Keys' cape that had this.
Oh, yes,
the
with
whole
the New York
City.
Yes,
it was everything.
yes, I agree.
Honey.
Any thoughts on Elon Musk buying Twitter for $44 billion? Do any of you think things will change? What do you think this means for the social media landscape or Twitter, or just, billionaires having that amount of power in general? Any thoughts on this?
I think it shouldn't be allowed to have like one person just, I mean, I know we have like Mark Zuckerberg, but there's like a board, and I mean, Twitter has like I guess it's public, so there is a board, but I just think people are going to create a new platform that's similar to Twitter, because when he says free speech, what he means is free speech for his friends to do what they want. They don't really mean free speech for us. And I mean, I don't really have that many Twitter followers. Like, I'm not on it that much. So I guess, is it that impactful for me? Not really, but I do care about how it impacts other people and the statement it's making in our country. Like, and some people are saying he could have solved world hunger. I mean, he can do whatever he wants with his money. He could have, and would I? Yes, I would. But he's going to buy Twitter because it makes you feel like really powerful. And, the first thing that will happen is Donald Trump will no longer be banned,
I would hate that.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that.
I will say this: most of the people who want to end world hunger don't end up becoming billionaires.
I know.
We haven't had one yet. That's what they wanted to do.
Well, then I won't say it anymore, so that I'll keep the good luck coming. I just won't say that I'll do it.
I'll say my main problem with Elon Musk buying Twitter is not even Donald Trump coming back. Quite honestly, Donald Trump was entertaining, and I had no problem with his Twitter. I'm gonna be real honest about this. That kind of messiness is just hilarious to me. But my main problem with Elon Musk buying Twitter is that I've tried my best to not support anything Elon Musk does, because he's a union busting, person who runs a very sort of racist, hostile kind of work environment for his employees. And so now I just feel some kind of way about being on Twitter, knowing that I'm contributing to Elon Musk's empire, and not to mention his dealings in the Amazon in South America. I have tried my best to not contribute to any of his nonsense. And now I'm forced to, almost, unless I leave Twitter.
Almost. Yes. But we'll see how, it all shakes out. As Carly pointed out, it is a public company, but the current thinking is that with his buyout, it will become a private company. So, let's see how that goes. We're going to move on to our second round of topics. All right. So next, President Emmanuel Macron wins re-election in France. WNBA player Brittany Griner remains jailed in Russia. And of course, the continuing invasion of Ukraine and atrocities by Russian troops, it continues. Any thoughts about these issues? Anyone can start.
Everybody got quiet as hell. War is a fucked up thing. Can I say that? It's just a horrible. Nobody wins with war. Yeah. It's so fucking. It's a travesty, and it's. I try not to think about it because it gets overwhelming, and then you take it on, and you get all stressed out, and you become just angry all the time, worried about are they gonna get us? Are we gonna get them? And I feel like, it's just a bunch of straight men playing power games with their dicks. And it's just really, and it's the poor people and the little people who suffer, and thousands and millions die at the hands because people can't get this shit together. And it's really sad. It's horrible. So it's just, okay, that's my soapbox, and I'm getting off.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. You go ahead. You go
No, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like, I just have to agree that it's the world. Everything just feels overwhelming right now, and very big, and the days feel heavy. And I think earlier to the Elon Musk point, it's like scary that one person has all that power. I think when it comes to Ukraine, just thinking about what's happening there, but then also thinking about Brittany Griner and still needing to like amplify like what's happening to her and how do we get her home. And then I think this just general connection to like media and how to relate with it and engage with it and also like take care of ourselves in this process. And so I think those are like all of my thoughts when it comes to all this. I guess it's all connected and still very all overwhelming. I think it's the word that's coming to mind for me.
And I'm not sure of Brittany Griner's sexuality. Is that an open thing? I don't know. That's a question. Does anyone know?
No, she's an openly queer woman. Yeah. And
okay,
so,
great. I didn't want to speculate if not. And that's
But
really,
if she
really
wasn't, honey.
so.
That's my sister, you know. So if she being so that's what's so concerning for me with her being there in Russia. We know, you know, what the laws there are like, you know, for people like us, for people, you know, in that community. And now I'm being told she has a wife. So yes, she is an openly lesbian
She's
woman.
really queer.
Very
But can I
much
say
so.
something? And it just dawned on me just a second ago.
Mhm.
And I don't mean to rehash anything, but how fucked up is it? That Elon Musk guy, $44 billion, when somebody as fabulous as Queen Latifah has just built a complex in her hometown of New Jersey for poor folks and folks who are underprivileged, who use that. That's what you're supposed to be doing when you be low income. And I mean, that the place that she has built is phenomenal. I mean, that's what you're supposed to say. Here is I have the ability to really make changes in lives, and that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, and she's only a tens of millionaires, you know. You know what I mean? So you make a good point there. You make a good point. When it comes back to Russia, you know, Putin is gonna Putin, Russia is gonna Russia. It is sad that this is what is going on. I've been privy to, you know, just a lot of the footage coming out of Ukraine. I've seen some things that honestly I would not, it doesn't make me sleep well at night just to see them, you know, and the intense atrocities that are going on. And just imagining that one day this is your normal, regular street that you all just go into the shops, get a little something and whatever, and now there are, you know, missiles falling into that. You're just walking past dead bodies, just regular in your downtown, and they're just, it's a lot. It's a lot. So with this, I do want to just, you know, be able to put the word out, you know, and just send some love and peace and everything to those who are affected by war, not just in Ukraine, but all over the world, because wars are happening. They've been happening. And it's one of those things, as you know, humanity, we got to do something about, honey, you know, we got to do something about it. All right. So on to our next round of topics. We're going to get a little local and we're going to get into some, you know, election tea. So Kenyan Matt Duffy is ruled ineligible to be DC's Attorney General. Next, 9 candidates are vying to represent Ward 3 on the Council of the District of Columbia. And finally, 12 states have their primaries this month, including Pennsylvania and Georgia. So anyone want to take a stab at one of these topics? And just the importance of elections in general.
So I don't really understand why Kenyon McDuffie isn't eligible. Is I think what I read is that he didn't serve as an attorney during certain years, so it's like a technicality. It's a little bit, seems a little schemy to me, and I think,
well, if you're one of the girls who are able to look at it that way, you want to get them, you know, you got to get them how you can, because the only reason it was brought up was because his opponent, brought the challenge forward. If no one did, he would have just gone through, But that's the shade, honey. That's the shade of it. You gotta get them how you
Get them
can.
before they get you. That politics is an ugly, dirty game. And when you step in the arena, be prepared to fight. It's ugly, it's vicious. And if you're not really in it to change and make a difference for people and really make the difference in the lives of people, especially poor people, senior people, the underprivileged, the voice of those who don't seem to have a voice, some people lose their direction. It's a lot of people who are in politics for the wrong reason. And it's a lot of people who really forget about the importance of whatever I do once I'm elected. Power, greed, money, all of that takes control of people's lives, and they forget about what they do. It's sad. It's just an ugly thing. I could go on and on and on, because that's another soapbox but I'll be cussing again, and I will be cussing again. So I'm gonna just reel it on back, because I feel a certain way about all this political madness.
It does get crazy, and I think some people see it as a gateway to their celebrity or something. And exactly, they're forgetting the purpose of it. And that's why I think term limits should exist. I mean, that really sucks when you have like really great people in office who are doing amazing work, because then that cuts them short. But maybe they can prep their predecessor, and guide them in the way. So that's just a sacrifice we'll have to make, so people can stop using it as a way to like get rich. Because that was super shady. And if I were running for office, I would want to win because the people chose me and the things I represent, not because I did something backhanded just to knock somebody out of my way. And I mean, listen, karma exists. Sometimes karma is what you believe you deserve. So that's why we see evil people presiding and doing what they want, because they don't believe they deserve anything bad. But then there's, lifetime karma, and I care about that still. That's a whole mess.
Yes, it is. But I will say, when it comes to elections and voting in this country, it's even more present as of now, because if you've been seeing the news, the so-called leak about what we're expected to come down from the Supreme Court by June. The leak is, of course, the draft of Justice Alito's majority opinion when it comes to Roe v. Wade. And in that opinion, Roe v. Wade is basically overturned. It's done. And but reading the whole leaked opinion, he also mentions Lawrence 2003, which decriminalized sodomy, and also Obergefell 2015, which made marriage equality a reality in this country. And so, with the striking down of Roe v. Wade, in this in what he said, it would lead to the striking down of those as well. So it's a very, very monumental time here in this country. Very, very important when it comes to where your vote goes and why your vote matters. I'd love for Brenita and Lee to weigh in on this.
I mean, I'd push back and say that this is a monumental time that proves that just vote is a futile endeavor.
True.
That more and more, we need to be recognizing that our power lies outside of voting. We have a Democrat-controlled Congress. We've had Democrat-controlled Congresses over and over for the past 30 years, and they've had every opportunity to make abortion legal by statute, and they have chosen not to. So I think more than anything right now, this moment is proving that just vote and our vote in general is not what our ancestors died for. Our ancestors died for the right to live with dignity and freedom. And living with dignity and freedom is not voting for the same people over and over who don't allow you to live with dignity and freedom. We have to exercise our power in other ways. That's my take.
Good note, Bernita.
No, and I would definitely agree with Bernita and how we have to exercise our power in different ways. And I think what I'm really thinking about, just like overwhelm was my first word of the day. I think healing and joy are my other words of the day. And so as we're dealing with all these things that are happening, how do we continue to take care of ourselves? When I think about the people who are on the front lines and doing this work and fighting for us, like what is my role and responsibility with taking care of myself and to take care of the community that is doing the work that's helping us realize the world that we should be living in. And so
yeah, certainly. It's a tough thing for everyone out there, even just the prospect of all of this, especially if you are someone who's kind of progress is what progress is, you know what I mean? And when you've gotten to a certain space and you've moved past certain things and certain things have just become what it is, you get used to it. And it's moments like these that remind you that these things are tenuous at best. These things we are all making it up as we go along. And if a good enough majority of people come together and say, okay, baby, we don't want this anymore, this is what we're doing now, or we're going back to that, it can happen. And this is why, we all have to make sure that the power we have, that we are executing it in a way that will help us and move us forward, because many people don't want to move forward. Four of the five who would be the majority, they are known as constitutional originalists. And for them, they believe that the Constitution should only be interpreted in the way that some old white men did it 250 years ago. They don't think that the laws should work for us in the future in 2022. We should be back then in 1776, right? Alito holds that opinion. Clarence holds that opinion. Kavanaugh holds that opinion. Amy Coney Barrett holds that opinion. That's how they move. That is what they are going to do. That's how they are going to react. I heard Senator Collins say today, oh, when I was in my meeting with Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, they said that's not even something they would think about. They said that's not even... Foolishness. So,
all I can say is a special place in hell for them people.
Let's just say that. And
even the lead at its best, honey. Yes, and I would be at the gate saying, pushing the elevator down and pushing the elevator up, honey. I'll be right there saying, oh, you are going on the elevator down.
Listen. And I will say, even the leak of this has, for me, to be very honest, the Supreme Court has been delegitimized in my eyes for a very long time, obviously. But this even leaking out for me has just delegitimized it in itself, like all over. A leak from the Supreme Court about, we don't get leaks about these things. So whomever it was, it a clerk, one of the justices themselves, whomever made it available so that could happen, there's some political motive behind it. And the Supreme Court has gotten more and more politicized over the years. And it's supposed to be the one thing that's not politicized, within the three branches of government. But that obviously is not the case anymore. We're dealing with something that's, it's not giving what it's selling. That's not what it's giving. So I don't know. Maybe people should have done the unprecedented move and stacked it if they wanted to, because bitches are going to do what bitches are going to do at the end of the day. We're all making it up. So that's my take on this whole thing. I hope that no matter how this goes, that we keep fighting. We know what our rights should be. We know what it means to actually be free and what it means to live in a place of freedom and to fight for that freedom. Our ancestors, they've done it. We wouldn't be here without that. And I will just say, other people's ancestors have fought for other things, and they believe in those things as well. And the same way how we're going to fight, they're going to fight. And I don't want you to make an us versus them type thing, but it's the reality of the world. It's the reality of the world. And so with that in mind, I want to remind everyone that we have several new candidate interviews now available on our Election 2022 playlist. So please go to our Election 2022 playlist, see what the candidates are talking about, see what their policies are that they want to, and the issues that they want to tackle if elected to their roles. We have interviews with not just local DC politicians or races, not just Maryland and Virginia, but all over the country, from New York to Atlanta to Philadelphia to Los Angeles to Seattle. So go ahead to our Election 2022 playlist, see what the candidates are really talking about, make an informed decision. And if you want real change, we can exercise our power to get some. We don't need to do the same things over and over again, as Bernita pointed out. If you really want to make a radical change, like how the Supreme Court is doing their own radical things, baby, get informed and make sure that you know the deadlines for everything here in DC. You will start receiving your mail-in ballots for all registered voters on May 16th. The deadline to update your voter registration with party affiliation is May 31st, and the primaries will be on June 22nd, 2022. So keep those dates in mind and make sure that you go to headcount.org to pledge to vote, check your voter registration status, and register to vote. Once again, that is headcount.org to check your voter registration status and register to vote. Now we're going to move on from that to the next thing, which is this month's In Memoriam. Now we bid farewell to these wonderful people: comedian Gilbert Gottfried, actor Liz Sheridan, DJ K. Slay, singer Naomi Judd, and WRC NBC4 anchor and reporter Wendy Rieger. Let's just take a moment of silence to honor their memories. Ashe. Would anyone like to speak about any of the dearly departed?
Can I tell you, I was so surprised when I heard about Naomi Judd.
Yes.
I was like, that threw me. I mean, that came out of
nowhere. Yeah, came out of
Mental
nowhere.
health is real, and people have to, and I think so many people are suffering in silence and not talking about it. And it gets to the point that people just feel like, well, I just want to, check out. And it's like, that's the most important time when you should be reaching out and saying, I need help, or calling somebody, or, and so many people are suffering in silence with mental health issues surrounding so many things. And you look at people from the outside, you be like, oh, you're rich, you're famous, you're a white woman in America, I mean, come on, and you feel like, oh my God, really? But it's sad.
Yeah, it is very sad. It is very sad. I saw it yesterday, and I guess I didn't even register it, because this morning when I woke up and turned on and I went to my YouTube, that it was just a whole lot of things about Naomi Judd's death. And I was like, wait, yes, that data, like, wow, it really, really came out of nowhere. So, every month we do this, we have, a new In Memoriam and everything. And it's great to really think about and talk about those that have passed on. Gilbert Gottfried, he's a legend in comedy. And we, of course, are touched by his work that he's given us, for all these years. And it is sad that he has passed on, but we honor them all. We honor their memories, and we thank them for the work, the entertainment, the love, the inspiration, all those things that they gave to all of us here, while they were alive. And we continue to honor their memory. Now, for a final topic, I want everyone to share one thing they have enjoyed in the past month. This can be a new book, a film, TV series, music, website, restaurant, venue, or service. So anything that you've enjoyed in the month of April let me know. So I will start off with Lee.
You said it had to be April? April.
Anything you enjoyed in the past month? Yes.
In the month I did get engaged, so I enjoyed that my partner said yes. So yeah.
Lee, congratulations. I love that. Oh my goodness.
Wonderful.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. Carly.
Well, first I want to say, Lee, if you need a singer or a band,
I got you.
Got you there. Okay, this past month I have enjoyed a light gig schedule because I'm about to go into some craziness, and I have been watching Young, Famous,
and African.
I really love that. I mean, listen, it is like tea and trash TV. And I'm trying to do positive things, but I'm like, I am positively supporting this show because we see the shamans of sunsets. We see Arabic people who are of money. And we see the Kardashians and who are also, well, that's a different story. But
it's great to see the same. It's great to see the same opulence and ostentatious living from the African.
And I think that in our society, when we think of Africa, we think of it as one country that is poor and desolate with dirt floors and huts that people live in. There are people who still live in their indigenous way, and there's poverty everywhere. But I love that these people are like, yeah, we're having tea. We have rented out the whole train. And we're going on an adventure. We have money. And they're like, one lady is like, I'm a billionaire, honey. I don't need that man. And I'm like, yes. Give people.
And they had the one queer guy on it too, the fashion one.
That
to me is what really stood out, because it's an African series in Africa and everything. And to see this queer guy just, and he's when he steps in, honey, everybody. Everyone wants to see what he's gonna give. Yes.
So I'm living for it. I mean, there's some manufactured drama, and I'm no, why are they all mad? You're mad because she's standing in her power. But anyway, so I'm really loving it.
I love that. Thanks so much, Carly. What about you, Bernita?
I have to say, I have never heard of that show, but now I'm interested. So at the beginning of April, I got to testify before the Senate committee about medical debt and needing something about medical debt. And I got to urge them multiple times on the need to pass a single payer healthcare system. So that was really, I've never testified before the US Senate before, so that was really fun and different. And I got grilled more than the other folks who were testifying, but it was actually really fun because there's nothing that they threw at me that I wasn't ready for. One Republican thought he was about to do something real funny and be like, well, isn't medical debt more common among folks who are lower income in terms of Black folks? And I was like, actually, it's based on zip code, so it doesn't really matter your income. Black people have more medical debt and are more contacted by credit collectors. So it's not just a poor people thing, white guy. That's just you want to put it that way. But yeah, so that was really fun. And it was the first time I'd actually traveled since COVID started. So
thank you, Bernita. Thank you. Rayceen, what about you? What have you enjoyed in April?
So many things. There are a lot of things. I'm sure you're going to talk about upcoming things that we have on the horizon. But I could just say the other night it was a wonderful experience sharing with you, being on the red carpet for the IM Awards. And that was a wonderful moment. And to present Bishop Rainey Cheeks.
And you had the best speech of the night. Just putting it out there. You had the best speech of the night.
And you don't know how you touch people when you say things. And so many people came up to me afterwards and said, of course, as the Queen of Shameless Plug, I wanted to plug everything that was coming up and everything I was doing. But my spirit had to speak about how we take freedom lightly and how people have been broken by the church and how people like Rainey Cheeks has created this wonderful place that is affirming for everyone, but especially LGBTQIA folks. and especially the importance of healing around religion and or being a believer, because in those spaces that he's created, he's welcome everybody, and you don't have to be a believer of God to come into those spaces to understand the importance about feeling good about who you are, being in a safe space and being welcome, and just being in a space where we can heal and begin to uplift and to uplift and enlighten each other. And that's what Bishop Cheek has done his entire life. So to give him that legacy award, I was really, really, really moved by it, and I was really moved to see this young man, Antonio Driver, and speak out, create these awards. The beginning of hopefully of a legacy that will live on, and setting precedents, and being in a space that everybody looked fabulous. Everybody came together from all walks of life, allies, straight, gay, trans, non-binary, and everybody, gender blenders, everyone was all welcome in a space where everybody was.
We love it. And
it was just beautiful. And it was just, so yeah, that was a highlight for me, this week, to be in that space, and we all need to come together and uplift each other. And then to meet Vivica Fox, that was a big highlight for someone who I admired. And she was so kind and gracious, and she took the time to greet every person there. It wasn't like, I don't have the time for you, because celebrities can go to Hollywood, but she greeted everyone in that space and let us know that she was definitely an ally. Because I've been to places, and too many times, and I'm going to say this very clear, when we invite people into our spaces, we reach out to allies that really don't mess with us. It's all about, let me get your check and go on about our business, and whoever's hot on the roster, but not doing the work to make us feel that we are being seen. And she definitely let us know, I see y'all, I live for y'all, I get life for you, I'm fighting for you, so, and to have moments, her and myself and Krylios had one-on-one moments, and that was really beautiful, because people they could easily say, I ain't got time for you, let me go about my business, but to take the time made a big difference. So I salute Vivica Fox.
Yes. And I like that you brought that up, because that for me was a highlight of April. It was the best way to ring in May, because that was April 30th. So May is my favorite month. So it's the best way to ring in May. And I had such a wonderful time being there, being in a space with so many legends, icons, and statements, and, there to celebrate Black queer excellence specifically was just everything that I needed. And one of my highlights was getting to have a full long conversation with the actor Jensen Atwood from Noah's Ark, from Dante's Cove, because I grew up in Jamaica, where I had to illegally download to watch Noah's Ark and to watch Dante's Cove, and I would be in my room, watching it. My parents can't catch me watching this gay shit. So, and let's just say Jensen Atwood kind of influence the type of guys I do go after. Let's just say that. It's a little mellow. No, it's no longer that hyper masculine. You need a little butch queen to give you just exactly what you need. But I got to have a really, really great conversation with him, and because he is a wonderful, powerful ally. I saw his interview with T.S. Madison, which just really opened him up so much more to get into his brain, to see how he feels about it, because he's played multiple gay characters as a straight man, you know what I mean, and what that was like, and how he feels as an ally. And so he was certainly the one that deserved that ally award at the I Am Awards. So that was great for me. But my actual true highlight of April was the city Los Angeles. It was California, the state of California. I visited for the first time with my boyfriend, and it exceeded my expectations. I will just say that being able to touch the Pacific Ocean was a spiritual moment for me, to be honest. It was like I was at the other end of the world. You know, I've been an Atlantic girl my whole life. I grew up in the Caribbean. I'm on the East Coast. The Atlantic is what I know. And when I just was able to be there, you know, baby, I could feel Asia washing onto me. I could feel the other side of the world, you know, so close. So that was great for me. And I had the most amazing tacos I'd ever had in my entire life at this place called Lucy's, which was in Baby Boy, the movie. Baby, those tacos were everything. I also got to visit the World of Wonder headquarters where they produce RuPaul's Drag Race. I got to go to I saw RuPaul's star on the Walk of Fame. I got to feel my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fantasy when I was visiting Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants. I was playing the Beverly Hills Housewives theme song in the car and just living my life, you know. So I spent a good week there. I got to do everything. I got to spend time with my boyfriend in a very different space, in a very different place, and the love grew even more. So I had a great time in California. That's my highlights of April. So now we are going to go on, of course. So because you know how we end things here, we do shameless plugs. So what I want to start with is the wonderful author, Brenna Haynes. Let's get into it.
So I write science fiction and fantasy novels that center queer and Black characters. Like I said, messy, bisexual Black women most of the time. You can find information at my website at www.brenitahaynes.com, but really follow me on Twitter at Brenita Writes, at B.O. Haynes. I have a new book that is coming out in June, just in time for Pride Month on June 1st, called Aya and the Alphas. It is almost here. So it was a work in progress that I co-wrote with my partner.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm so excited to read that new one and get into everything that you have to offer. And of course, how can people follow you?
I'm most active on Twitter and Instagram. I'm not really on Facebook. So at Brenita Writes, you'll see all my probably overly political posts sometimes, but also at B.O. Haynes on Instagram, where I'm way more subdued, in case you're more subdued.
We love that. Thank you so much, Brenita. And of course, thank you so much for joining us today. Next, let us talk to Lee. Lee, what you got going on?
What I got going on? So as you know, Black in Space, we are back. When are we back? Sunday, May 29th for Fantastic Voyage. We are partnering with the Arc Theater for an amazing showcase for DC Black Pride. We've got performers, DJs. I'll be making buttons, a lot of surprises. I'm pretty sure some people on this call will be on the stage that night. Also, this event is really important to me. We lost a member of the Black in Space Star Crew last week. And so this is also, we're producing this in their honor. And so pouring lots of love into it and celebrating them and the Black in Space galaxy. So
awesome. And I know you have a new video that just came out. So let me go ahead and play that so everyone is able to get the vibe from the promo.
And the lineup is announced May 8th. This upcoming Sunday, you'll see the full lineup. But it's a little taste of what you're gonna get.
All right. Perfect. That looks so excitingly. I cannot wait to experience it. Get on the mothership, honey. The mothership. I love it. 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 All right. So next, of course, up is Carly Harvey. What you got going on, Carly?
Okay, so tonight I am performing at the American Indian Museum, which is really special because I really appreciate people having events and starting more and more to incorporate Afro-Indigenous people, which in the past,
I
like
know how
before, like the
important this
last
is to you.
couple of past 5 years has been like a really beautiful movement. But prior to that, it was very like excluding, or you're not this enough or that enough. So when you get selected to do something like so special, it's just like really meaningful. So this is kicking off my crazy week. Then on Thursday, I'm flying to Memphis to attend the BMAs because I am featured on an album that's nominated for Best Soul Blues Album. So hopefully we'll be winning that. Yes. And then the next day starts the International Blues Challenge. So my band is going to participate in a 4-day blues competition and we'll be winning that. And then the day after the finals, I fly to New York and I'm going to do amateur night at the Apollo.
Amazing.
Yeah, so you can get tickets. You can just get on a bus to New York. It's May 11th at 7:30. And of course, the winner is based on a sound meter. So I need lots of big voices screaming. And, you know, if you can't come to New York, but you know people who live there, just tell them about it. You can go to my website to get the link to get the tickets, or just go to theapollotheater.com and you'll find it. And then I'll come home and bask in the glory of whatever it is. You know, I could win or not win. It's just going to be an amazing experience. And I'm just so thrilled and excited.
I love that. Thank you so much, Carly. Thank you so much. And of course, when we're doing shameless plugs, we got to plug ourselves. So you can catch Rayceen and myself at the Kennedy Center for Outspoken 2022 in collaboration with Story District, of course. We're so happy to do this. Rayceen and myself have, we've had a long, working relationship with Story District at this point. And so it is great to be able to be a part of this special Outspoken live at the Millennium Stage at the Kennedy Center. Rayceen, are you excited?
I'm so excited. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed.
Yes. So actually, from what I hear, more details will be coming out very, 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 very soon. So watch this space, keep your eyes open for more details about Outspoken 2022. But if you do want to catch us before that, you can actually catch us next weekend. Oh, this is the old one. That's fine. But for Leave the Door Open, Krylios' Leave the Door Open, you can catch us there for my first play. It's May the 14th and the 15th at 3 p.m. at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center in Baltimore. Make sure that you come out and support us. Rayceen will be hosting the pre-show. And I can actually announce here that our pre-show performers will be Desiree Jordan, Cecily, Poet Ray Monet, and Miss Nightlife, as well as a special performance by yours truly. So you will not want to miss it. Tickets are $15 for the 14th and $20 for the 15th. As a matter of fact, so make sure that you come out, support us for Leave the Door Open. If you want to know what Leave the Door Open is giving, if you want to know what the plot is giving, let me just give you a little rundown. It's giving the girls queer, it's giving the girls Black, it's giving the girls, it deals with immigration, it deals with all of those things, but it's also sweet. It's a little bit of a romance. It deals with friendship, the power of friendship, and then of course there is that mystery that goes along with it. The tagline is a twisted tale of fear, fantasy, and freedom. And I'm so happy that our actors, they are deep in rehearsal right now. Brian Daniels as Leon, Richard Peck as Charles, Odane Green as Brett, Regina Gina G as Maggie, Ebony Kenny as Lisa, Nikki Singh as Dr. Lawson, and we just added Shelton Williams as the character of Rob. So tickets are now on sale. You can go to bit.ly/It's Krylios Play to get those tickets on Eventbrite, or you can go straight to Eventbrite and type in Krylios's Leave the Door Open and get tickets like that. So make sure that you go. I'm very, very excited. It's my first play, the first thing I've written so people can see. So get tickets now because I'm super duper excited about it. And after that, you can still catch Rayceen and myself at the Rocky Horror 60s show, and they just dropped this new fabulous promo that you can see here. I'll be a part of this. I'll be playing Eddie in the Rocky Horror 60s show, and Rayceen, of course, will be the master of ceremonies for the entire evening. So you can go to earlorin.com to get your tickets now and to get some more information. And that will be in Pittsburgh on June 4th and Baltimore at the Baltimore Soundstage on June 5th. So make sure that you check us out there. Now you can also follow me, Krylios, at It's Krylios. And that's on both forms of social media. And of course, you can follow all things Rayceen Pendarvis at rayceen.com. And certainly you can follow Team Rayceen Productions at Team Rayceen on all forms of social media. Click around our YouTube channel, see what's going on, and like, comment, and subscribe. But of course, most of all, thank you for watching.